Okay, I got good news and bad news. So which one should I start with? Okay, so let's start with bad news. Okay, so the bad news is that the email marketing that we used to know, okay, is now gone. Okay, the email marketing that we used to know 6 months ago is now gone, and now we're entering a new era of email. And most people have no clue about this happening, okay? Because they're still writing emails the same way, they're still using the same strategies that worked 6 months ago, that worked 1 year ago, and they're wondering like why their email operates, why their sales they're tanking, right? They are wondering why they're not getting more clicks to their offers. Okay, but you don't have to be one of these people. This is the good news, okay? Because now in this video, you're going to find out what exactly you're going to see exactly what is happening. Okay, you're going to see how to make adjustments before you too can get trapped in the same loop, and you're going to know exactly what is coming ahead. So if you're wondering why you should listen to me, the truth is that I do not have 10 years of experience, okay, in email marketing and copywriting. Okay, I'm not some type of guru, but what I do have under my belt is just 2 years of experience, me diving deep into email marketing and copywriting, studying the best email marketers, going into the best causes, looking at every kind of video out there, testing everything, campaigns, and I've generated hundreds of thousands of dollars for my coaches and my clients, right? From email alone. Okay. So in this guide, I will walk you through the five biggest shifts happening in email marketing right now. Okay. So before we dive in, just hit the like button because it helps me know that you like this video and you like the content that I put out. So yeah, that's it. So the first major trend I'm seeing is a shift to founder voice email. Now let me explain what exactly this means. Okay. um, the reality is growing engagement with generic branded emails is damn near impossible right now, right? And generic branded newsletters that I'm talking about is that the kind of corporate emails that people were sending back then. Okay, if you're sending corporate emails, I want to tell you like that's bad news. Like it's not working right now. It's like nearly impossible. It can work. It can work, but not in a high percentage that you can get a lot of sales and you can get a lot of opens and you can get more clicks to your offers. Okay, why? Because the reason behind is quite simple. People want to hear from other human beings, people want to hear from other people. So think about all the emails, okay, you actually open and read. Okay, how many of those come from info@company.com, I don't know, newsletter@brand.com? Probably not much, okay? If not any at all, because like right now people are shifting, okay? We don't want to go with the corporate emails of info blah blah blah. People want to talk to people, right? So they want to send emails from their personal emails, okay? The more business creating emails. If you want to learn how to create a business email, I have a video on that on my YouTube channel, so you can go check it out. So but most of the emails you engage with are from real people, like real founders, real CEOs, real thoughtful leader who feel like they're talking directly to you. Like when you open their emails, you feel like, okay, it's Alex Amuzi who is talking to me because the email is from Alex Amuzi, right? And now these founders, okay, who are savvy, are turning their emails with personal like into personal conversations to get in front of ideal customers or in front of ideal clients because this is feel like really personal. Okay, so this has been the case in the consumer marketing for a while now. You can look at brands like Morning Brew with Alex Lieberman or James Clear, okay, with his 321 newsletter. If you know James Clear, okay, if you don't know them, you can just look them up on YouTube. Okay, these founders have turned like themselves into trusted voices to email, right? Like the email now is like the channel, direct channel that they personally reach out to people and they communicate with them like personally, and people trust them because it's not like they get an email from the company. It's like they get an email from them, but maybe someone else is helping them write the email. But just because it's coming from them, so they build more trust, they build more relationship with their clients. And now B2B companies like softwares, AI, and even service businesses like agencies are turning their own founders into the voice of their email marketing. We also see this like in the content marketing game, right? We see like Instagram is having like, a YouTube channel and stuff like that. So it's like people want to get more closer to the people, and they want to convert more people and get more customers, like building a relationship with your customers and stuff like that. So how to take action on this is skip the generic like company newsletter approach, the corporate um emails approach. Okay, if you are starting from scratch or just looking to ramp up your email marketing game, your business or something like that, I would recommend not putting a lot of time and effort into faceless branded emails. Like these faceless branded emails, like coming from a company or coming from, I don't know, whatever. Okay, make them like feel like the emails are coming from you. How? By the email address having your own name in there and having a photo, because most, like, let me show you something. Let me go to my personal like email account right here. So whenever you open all these emails, you can see like right here we have like a profile, right? We have a profile picture. All of them have a profile picture. So you're gonna come up from an angle that, let's look at this one. Okay, the email is from Neil Patel himself, and he has a profile photo there, right? Which means that it shows that it's coming from him, like Neil Patel himself. So this builds trust and most things like that. But if you like have a profile like this one, like this has no profile picture. I mean, it has an email. Yeah, the email is from the person themselves, but with no profile picture, it doesn't stand out. So if your email has a profile picture in it, the email address has a profile picture in it, it stands out like directly, right? So you can come up from an angle like that. Okay, so instead, put time and energy and effort and resources into building emails that come from you, like the founder, the CEO, a real person with a real voice. Okay, 3 to 5 times at least per month. If you send like 3 to 5 times of emails per month, it's not enough, but at least if you do that, you should be sending like personal emails. If you do that, that's good. Okay, if you're not doing that, then don't even bother starting a newsletter, because it will be generic and it will convert. It won't get you any sales. It won't get you any clicks. Maybe it would, but it will be at a low rate. Okay, low rate, and you'll burn out and it won't work. Okay, so another example of someone who is done this extremely well is Sahil Bloom. Okay, I've subscribed to his newsletter, and he has an email list of over 5,000 subscribers. He's saying it all over in social media. And over the past few years, he's become one of the go-to voices people trust in their inbox. And as a result, he's built like multiple businesses generating millions in revenue. He has a video about that. And that would have been impossible without the direct relationship he's built through his email. Okay, I'm going to show you his email. Can I even write it here? Sahil Bloom. Right? I'm also in his uh email list, so it's crazy, right? So this is his email, right? Chronicles. See this? This is what exactly I was talking about. You have an email on here, right? See this? There's an email that says Sahil at sahilbloom.com. This is exactly what I'm saying. Like have your name right there. Like it shows that it's coming from a founder or CEO of himself. And then there's his photo right there, right? Which shows that it's him, right? It creates some sort of trust. Even if it's not him writing the emails, he has maybe an assistant or a copywriter or an email marketer who is writing, or an agency who is writing the emails for him. But this creates more trust that, okay, I'm getting emails from Sahil, and yeah, he gets more sales and opens and stuff like that, right? More than if it would say info at what chronicles.com instead of Sahil Bloom, it will be like info at chronicles.com. No one will open this. Like it wouldn't feel more like personal. It will feel like, okay, this is just like companies sending massive emails to people. But this one, it feels like someone sending an email to you, and especially if he is talking directly to you in the email, right? It feels more personal. So that's exactly what I was talking about. Okay. But here's the thing, all of this doesn't matter, okay, if you don't know how to construct an email ecosystem. Okay. So this is the difference between building a list that makes you money versus the one that keeps like getting ignored in the inboxes. So second thing is the rise of email ecosystem. Okay, we just talked about how like the founder voice emails are becoming more common, and this is for good reason. But a lot of the savviest founders and CEOs and entrepreneurs and business owners don't just do one email like newsletter. Okay, they layer in several email touch points. Whether it is welcome sequence. I know like some of you are doing it. Some of you are doing like welcome sequences, like nurture campaigns and stuff like that. But I'm going to just go deeper into this so that I can show you the email ecosystem, how it works. Okay, from like big brands and stuff like that. Okay, so whether it be like welcome sequences, nurture campaigns, product specific emails, or different newsletters for different segments of the audience. So I would always recommend, for me, okay, it's an opinion, starting with one consistent email if you're starting out. Okay, nail that for the first few months. Like if you're going like for nurture campaigns, go for nurture campaigns. Have maybe a welcome sequence which is like 2 to 3, maybe 2 to 3 um welcome sequence, or just one if you want to, and then go to nurture campaigns, right? But once you get into the good rhythm with like the founder voice emails, the best way to scale this and really maximize the value of your email list is to create multiple email touch points, right? And this is called, it's what I call the email ecosystem. Okay, so the reason why you want to take this approach is because, to take into consideration this approach, is because email marketing is generally frequency constrained when it comes to engagement. Now, one thing that I want to make clear here is that you do not have to give them just value without pitching them, because sometimes when you pitch people, you give people a lot of value up front without pitching them in all those emails. Okay, it just creates this loop that, okay, I'm going to enter this email, I'm going to open this email because I'm going to get something for free without them asking me something. All right. So when it comes at a moment that you ask them something, it just disrupts that pattern that they already created in their subconscious mind. So what ends up happening is that, okay, they don't open the email because it's like, I'm just gonna wait for the value emails. I don't want to be sold to, right? People hate to be sold to. So you have to create like, when you're giving value to your audience, to the emails in the nurture sequence and stuff like that, you have to soft pitch them at the end. Okay, in the PS or at the end, like the call to action, you have to soft sell them, right? So that they can see, okay, they're giving me value and they're pitching me. So it creates like, okay, this is just the pattern, it's normal, right? So once you're sending one, so let's go back now to our video. Okay, so once you're sending one email per week to your entire list, okay, you can ramp it up. Like um you can send per week, you can send 3 to 4 times. That's what I found more engaging and more perfect. But if you're starting out, you can just start by one per week, right? So that you do not overwhelm your prospects. So you can't really do much more than that without annoying people. Okay, so just go with one because you're starting out. But as you keep on going, growing, and building your email list, you want it to ramp it up to 3 per week, 3 emails per week to 4 emails per week. If you do 7 emails per week, like every day throughout the week, you will start annoying people. People will be overwhelmed, and they will start like unsubscribing from your list. So yeah, you can go up to twice a week, twice if you want to, 4 times. You could go to 3 times a week if you wanted to, but you generally reach a point of diminishing returns. Okay, unlike social media where you can post like 20 times in a single day, email doesn't quite work like that. You need to go like slow, right? So the way you get around this and deliver more value for your audience without overwhelming them is by creating a segmented email touch points where you send them different emails uh to different people, okay, based on where they are in the journey with you, right? So if someone has already bought maybe a product or service, you segment them. If they haven't bought something from you, you segment them. If they have engaged maybe with a certain post, you segment them. If they haven't engaged, you segment them. Like something like that, right? And there is, right now there's AI, so it's easy. That's why I'm telling you, like right now is like email revolution. There's AI, so it's easy to segment this list and just say, okay, if they don't open this email, send them here. If they open this email, send them here. And then when you send them there, they get another email. When you send them here, they get another email. So it's just like that. It's an email ecosystem. So The baseline, the three-level email ecosystem of progression that I suggest that you should have is like one founder email, month one to month three. You start here, get one consistent email working well. Okay. And then level two is add segmented campaigns. So month four to six. Now it's not a must to follow this, but this is just a suggestion to ramp things up. You can do whatever you want, right? Okay, so months four to six, you can layer in with welcome sequences, product emails, and behavior triggered campaigns, then nurture sequences if you want to. And then level three is multiple voices and touch points. So it's month seven plus. Okay, have different team members, send emails to different segments, create topic specific newsletters, add educational sequences. So one company that does this very well is ConvertKit. Now, if you are a client for ConvertKit and you have joined their email list, you will see this. Okay, they have a founder who is called Nathan Barry. Okay, and sending regular emails. He sends regular emails. But they also have educational email courses. Okay, they have also product update courses. They also have creator spotlights. They also have community digest. Okay, so why do they have all these emails? Because it creates this feeling of being everywhere in your inbox without being annoying. Okay, because each email serves a specific purpose for a specific audience. So this next shift is something most email copywriters, email marketers, business owners, especially coaches, completely ignore, and it's causing them to lose hundreds of thousands of subscribers, okay, without even realizing it. So here it is. Please stick around with me because this is very important. Okay, so the third shift I have seen over the past year is the importance of visual identity in emails, which is right now shifting. All right. So with the rise of AI generated content, okay, flooding inboxes, like people are using ChatGPT, people are using different AIs out there, okay, people need ways to instantly recognize that your email is from a real person they trust. Very important. And one method of accomplishing this is through consistent visual elements like the header images, personal photos, brand colors, and design patterns that become instantly recognizable. Now, for Alexa Mozi, I don't know. He uses. I mean, if you have your profile photo up there, it creates that instant pattern. Like it creates that instant spark that this is coming from a real person, right? Rather than when you just have a blank. Wait, let me show you because like it's like I'm talking. When you have something like this, right? When you have a profile photo here, it creates an instant spark that this is coming from a real person. But when wait shit. But when let's say okay, Alex Attorney has one, right? Just check this out, right? It comes from a real person because there's a real photo right there, right? But when let's say this one pops up, okay, the profile photo, there's no profile photo. Let's say it's like this. Now this one a little bit creates some instant off, like it creates some small pattern that okay, this might be coming from a real person. But let's say like the email comes from info at I don't know, email mailmoth or I don't know, sandwich.com sandwich.com or something like that. I'm telling you, like people are going to see that as spam and they're not going to open that email, right? They're just going to think, okay, this is just AI generated and I don't want that. So when you create something like that, we can see even here, like some of these emails come up with images like these, you see, it creates that kind of instant trust. For example, like Sahil too, right? Sahil Bloom, right? We checked his. You see this, like the Curiosity Chronic by Sahil Bloom. He comes up with some sort of brand name on top. That he has some photos in it, and he's showing himself, like stuff like that. You know, signature. It shows like it's coming from a real person instead of AI generated. Also, your message should not just be generated by AI because it when the message is generated by AI, it is like instantly it's instantly recognizable because it sounds robotic. Okay, so these visual elements serve as a pattern interrupt. Okay, the headers and stuff like that, they serve as a pattern interrupt. They interrupt the pattern, and someone just thinks, okay, the reader gets they get readers, and what end up happening is that they get readers to stop scrolling from the inbox and think, oh, this is what this is that email I'll oh, this is that email I always read. Okay, so if you're running a business and sending regular emails, I do recommend treating your email template like a visual signature. Okay, design it with intention. Make sure you have it. It's not a must. Okay, it can also work even if you don't have it. I'm not saying that you should have it like it's a must. No, it's not. You can test what works for your audience is better. Just go with it. So a consistent header of personal photo at the top, just like Sahil Bloom right here. He has it here, the Curiosity Chronicle. He has it also here, the Curiosity Chronicle. He has it also here, the Curiosity Chronicle. So in every email, he has it the same way, right? Brand colors that are uniquely yours, like blue, right? Or for Alex Amuzi's green, something like that. A layout that's immediately recognizable, visual elements that sign this is from a real person. Okay. So I did always recommend including personal photos in your emails when relevant. Just like Sahil Bloom, I can tell you, I am taking like more reference from Sahil because he has more subscribers and he has more like what more engagement from his emails, and yeah, he's showing that his personal profiles and his videos, right? So photos like this is perfect, right? So yeah, you can use that too. Okay. So people love to see like the human behind the message, right? So they because it creates some sort of connection. So it builds trust faster than any amount of corporate branding ever could. Okay. So real example is one example of someone who does this really well is Tim Ferriss. Did I even now? I don't think if I joined his email list, but I was on it. Yeah, something like that. Is Tim Ferriss with his wait? Do I have Tim Ferriss? I think I have one. Tim Ferriss. Hmm. Bruh. Now I have man here, which is great. Yeah, I think it's on my other email. Yeah. So who does this real well is Tim Ferriss with his 5 bullet Friday newsletter. So every email has the same visual structure, the same minimalistic design, the same personal tone. You have seen that even in Sahil Blue. Okay. So you know it's him before you even read the first word because even the profile just pops up there when it's in your inbox. You see the image of him. So it's great. And here's the key. Posts that traditionally might have been text only now perform better with personal photo or relevant image attached. Okay, so it humanizes the content and improves there's a real person behind the email, not just an AI churning out generic content. But all this visual identity is just the beginning of everything. I can tell you that because the next shift is going to completely change how you think about email frequency and how you should send your emails. And it's going to save you hours every single week because this is really important. Okay, I'm not saying this because I want you to stick around. I'm saying this because it's really important. Okay, so getting into shift number 4. Okay, email content shelf like has um email content shelf life has gone up dramatically. Now, what do I mean by email content shelf life? Okay, if you look at what successful email marketers or email copywriters are doing right now, okay, they are focusing less on daily breaking news and more on the evergreen content that stays relevant for months or even years. Okay, so the reason why this is happening is that smarter marketers, okay, have realized that they can create email sequences and nurture campaigns that work 24/7, delivering value to new subscribers without constantly being on the content treadmill. So, One of the main complaints people have about email marketing is that you write an email, send it once, and it's gone forever. You end up on the hamster wheel, constantly creating new content just to stay relevant. But what if you could write emails that continue to work for you months after you hit send, right? So this is what I mean by email content shelf. So how do you adjust your email strategy? Try to orient more of your email content around evergreen topics instead of only writing about current events and trending news, right? People are constantly focusing on trending news, and now people are changing that because the email right now, the game right now is changing. Okay, people like you can use I don't mean like it doesn't work when you use like trending news and current events. It really works. It's perfect, especially if you're referring that. But if you're someone who has no time, then having topics that are like evergreen topics, that topics that you can keep talking about like continuously is perfect. Okay, it's a perfect balance because these are timeless principles frameworks. There are timeless principles frameworks and insights that will be just as valuable to someone reading 6 months from now. Okay, so if trend jacking and hopping on news stories is a big part of your email approach, I would recommend balancing that with evergreen sequences, evergreen like content that the timeless principles that I'm talking about, the frameworks, the insights. Okay, just balance them with that. Then you can set up once and then run it automatically because of email. Like right now, like we have automations and stuff like that, so it works. So think about creating like welcome sequences that educate new subscribers, educational courses delivered over email, case study series that showcase your methodology, and principle based content that doesn't expire. Now, if you don't know any of this, if you don't have the time, the skill, and the money to get all this into position and get more results from your email campaigns, there's a link down below. You can get a free audit for your email sequences, or you can book a call with me directly, and I will help you do that. We'll break down everything. Okay, so create all this. Okay, and if you do that, okay, you will be building an email library that works for you long term, not just content that gets one moment um, hyped in the spotlight and the next moment is not in the spotlight and nothing is working. Okay, down to the fifth shift, which is the most important of all, the craziest of all, and I think you shouldn't ignore this, because if you ignore this, then all of the above will be just for nothing. Okay, is that personality is your most and the first thing that you should have, because in this age of AI, if there's no personality in your emails, people will click off, because like people right now think every email that you send to them is just AI generated. Like they have that, they're very skeptical, they have that in mind, right? So the fifth change happening in email marketing is incredibly important, and this is one of the ways you're going to protect yourself against the rise of AI generated email slop flooding inboxes everywhere. And that's the understanding that personality is important. Okay, it's becoming incredibly easy to create a pretty okay email using tools like Cloud or ChatGPT, okay, AI. But when you look a little bit deeper, you'll realize that content is often quite generic because it's created by AI. Like AI can help you write better copy, like not better copy, it can just help you generate ideas, right? But in terms of copy, it just generate the copy. If you have bad copy, it creates the worst copy. If you have good copy, it just creates better copy, right? So with AI, it just gives you ideas. So if you use it to write your emails, you're just giving it like the robotic taste, the robotic flow. There's nothing personal in it. So especially if you ask it to come up with an email from scratch, right? It's just going to slop things. Okay, so what we have ended up with a lot of AI slop that's made its way into the inboxes. Email that at first glance read pretty okay, but don't quite hold up under closer. Like the thing that I'm trying to say here is that the emails from ChatGPT and Cloud or um AI is that they like personality. They're not, they don't have specific stories, they're not specific enough. Okay, they lack unique insights. They just come up with the generic insights that everyone else out there is talking about. Okay, but if you add your own personality in it, you can add some methods and some insights that are unique to you because you did it, right? So if you have a newsletter, it means that you did it. If you're a coach consultant, it means that you did it, so you'll have something unique, right, to share. Okay, which makes the reader want to keep reading. So with AI, that's the complete opposite. So when you're thinking about creating emails that stand out in the age of AI, you want to think about doing things that AI cannot replace, that AI cannot do, that AI did not think of, right? So, how exactly do you make your emails uncopyable by AI? Use your personal voice, okay? Write the way you actually talk, not the way a professional email is supposed to sound, okay? Just write normal, okay? Write like you're talking to a friend. And then include the personal photos, right? Show your face, show your work space, show your life. AI cannot replace, like AI cannot replicate that, cannot just input your photo in there like your real life and stuff like that. No, it cannot. Okay, share specific stories, share specific insights, share specific events, share specific experiences, right? Because AI did not go through the experiences. AI has no stories like the ones you do, right? So stories from actual experiences that only you can tell are the most important thing, right? That's how you create that personal touch, right? So add your also you can add your own opinion, like the hot takes and perspectives that AI wouldn't dare generate. Like AI would just generate the overall said, always said events or always said shit that everyone else is saying. Okay, so if you come up with your own opinion, respectful. So here's how I would take into action this advice just to make it very practical for you. Okay, so I will shift from how to how I content. Okay, I mean both work if you start with a how to, it work. But if you go around YouTube, if you go around Instagram, if you go around any platform right now, the how I content works perfect more than the how to content. It's the same in email. For example, instead of saying here's how to write emails that convert, you can like be more specific and be more outcome oriented. Something around like here's how I wrote one email that generated blah 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 in revenue in 24 hours or in 4 hours or in 3 hours or something like that. Because the difference is that the second one is more specific, okay, and is more outcome oriented more than the first one, okay. The first one is just like AI like generated and stuff like that. But the second one, AI cannot copy the results that you have. Like those results are uniquely yours, right? You have generated those results for your clients, or you have generated those results on your own, right? In a specific amount of time, which is natural, right? So you cannot just come up from any angle, or AI cannot just come up with any kind of example that is very specific oriented. Okay, so one founder who does this extremely well, and I find this very good, is again Sahil Bloom. Okay, a lot of his emails that he sends out are storytelling based emails. Okay, he tells stories about how he's building his business, lessons from his investing career, insights from the conversations with successful people that he has. And these aren't generic tips, they are personal experience that only he can share with his audience and the reader, right? So you have to share like your personal experiences. That's the greatest thing. And the only way how you can do that, the practical way that you can do that is sharing your own experience by telling people how it went down for you and the results that you got and the outcome that you got instead of using AI. Okay. Other thing is that you can share stories that only you can tell, right? So it's like for example, like instead of writing like here's how to negotiate better, which is vague and it's like low base, doesn't explain anything, you could write about the time you like you did like that 100K negotiation, and deep down, and what you learned from it, what you learned from that negotiation, what you learned from closing that deal. Okay, something like that. It is a specific story, it is a specific experience, right? It is very, like, very oriented, like very specific oriented, with numbers, with real consequences, and it is infinitely more compelling than generic advice. Okay, and it's something only you can share, no one else can do. Okay, the other thing is that you can use casual tone of voice. So I did recommend adding personality in your emails through the actual writing style itself. Okay, so use a more casual tone of voice relative to your industry. So if you're working in a very buttoned up industry like finance or law, and you're teaching people, like you're a coach, finance coach, or I don't know, law and order coach, or something like that, you might not be able to go like super casual. um that might actually be like counterproductive. But I think, generally speaking, avoiding the corporate speak, okay, because it's vague, and it tends to work best when trying to build real relationships through email. So just be specific as how you can be specific to your audience, because they can understand the problem and the pain points that, if you went through them, then they will understand them, because they as well might be going through the same thing. So go a bit more casual than you think, okay? And if you're not someone who is naturally casual, then if you're more buttoned up, okay, then lean into your authentic personality. Just be yourself, okay? But I want to argue um against is but what I want to argue you against is appearing too polished because you think you need to sound professional. Okay, you do not need to sound professional. Just sound like you, like how you're talking to a friend. Again, that's exactly the same thing. So also, the other thing is that also you can incorporate personal interests and in your emails. So if you have hobbies, just tell them, people, like, today, so I like doing this, and today I was maybe in the gym, or like for me, I like the gym, right? So you can just add maybe like the gym and stuff like that. For you, maybe you can add something else, right? You can say, maybe I was taking dancing classes and stuff like that. Now, I think like most of you might be thinking that, okay, if I tell my audience that I was dancing, my audience might be thinking, okay, I'm not serious. I'm someone who is like joking. And they think of TikTok videos and blah blah blah. No, I mean, when you like tell people a little bit about your life, they feel you're human and feel like this is natural. Like this is someone I'm talking to, right? So it helps a lot. So what I did recommend is picking one or two areas of your personal life. Maybe you are super into maybe endurance training, maybe you love reading, maybe you love cooking. Try to share something that isn't super private to you, but you can work it into your content. Okay, whether it can be like through standalone emails or using like anything from those personal interests in your other emails. Okay, so but again, sharing those personal interests is a way to show proof that you are a real person with real interests, not just someone with a chat GPT subscription that comes up with anything that they think of. Okay, so that's it. There you have it. The five biggest shifts happening in email marketing right now. To recap, we have the founder voice emails. Okay, are replacing like generic newsletters. So you have to be like really you. Okay, input your own voice in there, how you speak, like just input your own personality. And then the second one is email ecosystem are becoming the new standard right now. So you can run different segments and different kinds of emails so that you can nurture and, you know, just build a relationship with your clients to different things and sharing different things, right? The other thing is visual identity in email is more important than ever. That's the other thing. The fourth thing is evergreen content is extending email shelf life. What I mean by that is that do not just jump on trends. So if you're someone who is always talking about trends, always talking about current stuff, it's good, it's perfect, but also share with them like endless tips that, like, timeless principles, timeless insights, timeless tips that they can keep using on and on, even 6 months down the road. If there's a new subscriber who comes in your email, they can still get it and they can still implement it and it still works. Okay, the other thing is personality is the new go-to, right? Personality is really important because of the AI generated content that comes up every single day. Like people are using ChatGPT, are using Cloud, and the business owners, the email marketers who use ChatGPT and Cloud, they all produce the same type of content. Probably they think they don't, but in some way, shape, or form, all those emails, like, they are similar. Like they have the same context, the same hook, the same angle, which is kind of not good, right? It's just flops, right? If someone is getting in their inbox all those emails, it just kills it. Like they start saying, okay, all these are like AI generated, they sound robotic, I don't like them, right? So if you don't want to go through the trial and error of figuring this out on your own, I publish out every single week, like videos. I put out videos on this channel. This is like my weekly newsletter, right? And because I break down everything like exactly as how it is, directly into depth, so I will be putting out videos about email marketing, about email copywriting right here with real examples, case studies, and tactics that you can copy. So hit the like button, subscribe so that you can be the first one to get all the videos that I put out. Yeah, so the email marketing landscape is changing fast, but if you understand this shift, okay, you are able to adapt. Here they are, adapt now or be left behind and still be down there. So you will come way out ahead if you adapt right now. But if not, you still remain stuck in 2020, 2025, thinking that they are all the old strategies that they were working in 2025 still work today, which is not true. Okay. So yeah, that's it. I hope you find value from this video. If you want a free quick email audit about your system, about your strategies and everything, you can apply down below. There's a form that you can fill down below. um it's just a quick one, you can just check it out, and then yeah, we will get you a free quick audit. This month I'm doing audits, right, so that I can improve my skill and stuff like that. So check down below and see you on the next one. Peace.